At what moment did the human being decide that their face was not enough? When did we begin to cover the skin as if it were hiding a secret, a shame or a fear? Before the mirror, before makeup, before even the word beauty existed, there was already the impulse to adorn ourselves. The earliest humans covered their bodies with cords, bones, shells, pigments extracted from earth and plants. They did not do it to please, but to belong, to signal who they were, which group they belonged to, what role they held within the community. Painting the body was a language. It was identity. It was ritual. The skin was not corrected. It was honored as a sacred canvas. Over time, that impulse became more refined. In ancient Egypt, men and women outlined their eyes with kohl, mineral mixtures that sought not only to beautify, but to protect from the sun, from infections, and from spiritual harm. Colors carried meaning. Makeup was linked to the gods, to power, to eternity. A painted face was a face closer to the divine. But alongside beauty came contradiction. Many of those pigments contained heavy metals. Aesthetics began to harm the body. And still, it endured. Because beauty was becoming status as well. In Greece and Rome, pale skin became a symbol of social class. Those who were light-skinned did not work under the sun. To achieve this, powders made with lead were used. Their effects were known: hair loss, illness, bodily deterioration. But the ideal was stronger than fear. Beauty was no longer only expression. It was beginning to become obligation. For centuries, Europe oscillated between moral condemnation of makeup and its secret use. During the Renaissance, the obsession with pale skin reached one of its darkest moments. Venetian ceruse, a mixture of lead and vinegar, was used by thousands of women. Many fell ill. Many died slowly. Even so, they continued to use it, because stopping appearances was socially more dangerous than physical harm. In the Victorian era, the ideal of beauty became fragile, almost sickly. Shining eyes achieved with belladonna. White skin produced with arsenic. Rosy cheeks created by lightly wounding the skin until blood appeared. Some even ingested small doses of toxic substances to improve their appearance. Illness was confused with elegance. Weakness with beauty. With the arrival of industrialization, makeup ceased to be exclusive to elites and rituals. Modern cosmetics were born. Products began to be mass-produced. The first major brands appeared. Beauty became accessible, but also standardized. The face was no longer adorned to express who one was, but to correct what was considered lacking. In the 21st century, we no longer use lead. We use filters. Faces without pores. Skin without texture. Lives without cracks. Bodies without history. We are constantly exposed to images of a perfection that does not exist, yet our minds learn to compare themselves to it as if it were real. And that leaves a mark. Anxiety, self-demand, emptiness, especially among the youngest, who grow up looking into mirrors that do not reflect life, but an impossible ideal. We cover ourselves with layers, not to protect ourselves from the sun, nor from gods, nor from evil. We cover ourselves from judgment, from others' judgment and from our own. And yet, it would be unfair to speak of all this without acknowledging something essential. Caring for oneself, wearing makeup, embellishing oneself can also be a beautiful act. Makeup is not only correction. It is play. It is color. It is creative expression. Throughout history, pigments, aromas, bottles, and textures have accompanied rituals, celebrations, and intimate moments. They have made life more aesthetic, more sensory, more symbolic. A lipstick can be pleasure. An eyeshadow, identity. A perfume, memory. The problem does not arise from care, nor from the desire to look good. The problem appears when that care stops being a choice and becomes a demand. When the constant bombardment of images, advertisements, and messages begins to plant a silent insecurity, difficult to name, but easy to feel. The fear of not measuring up. The fear of aging. The fear of losing value with the passage of time. A fear that sells well, that is packaged in elegant bottles and disguised as a promise. And thus, little by little, beauty ceases to be enjoyment and becomes a race. Perhaps the true balance lies in remembering the origin, in using makeup as what it once was, a language, not a sentence, an act of care, not of punishment, a free gesture, not a response to fear. Because life, like skin, also needs color, but it should never lose its truth.